कॅलोज इतले फुडें येवपाक कॅविन गजानन आनी ताच्या कुटुंबाचो एक व्हड हात आनी काळजा मनाचो आदार आसा ही काणी आयज आमी ह्या एपिसोडान पळोवया. सगळ्यान पयलो हो कॅविन फिरंगी बाब जो गर्वान म्हणटा
I'm the only Paklo in Ponda.
आनी जो गरजे पुरती आमची कोंकणी भास सुद्धा शिकला.
Ek don tin char pansu sat at now da grabartar. I can say tuyo if I want you to come. I can say boss if I want you to sit. If I want an ice cream cone, I might say maca conezai.
2012 वर्सा फोंड्या शांतीनगर हांगासर पराग सोसायटीन कॅलोजाचें खरेलें काम कशें सुरू जालें तें पळोवया.
So this is where it started. This is our first office space, and now it's fallen into use as a baby play area. So we were all seated around here. Myself, I was seated here. Swapno was here, where the computer still is today. Darren, who is hiding over here in the corner, he was actually sitting where he's standing now for some time. Ansel was sitting there at one time. Reshma was over there at one time. Abaji was over here. It was one big group of people in a very tiny space. So we've expanded and we've come a long way. And this one has come as well. She used to keep us busy in the office. Whenever we were getting too bored with our work, she would come and we would entertain her by showing her videos on the TV or playing other children's games. Better than a coffee break, better than having tea. I put up Christmas decorations at Christmas time, and it was a little more homely and close, but too small. In the end, you know, we're happy to be in a new office, but we have a certain amount of how you say nostalgia about the old office space.
अजून मेरेन कॅलोजा खातीर सगळ्यान व्हडल्यो अडचणी आनी टर्निंग पॉयंट्स कसले आशिल्ले?
You know, I thought the first challenge was just getting the business name registered. We had to wait a long time because they didn't like our name. And I don't know what was going on, because in the United States you just get a name and you register it and it's done. At first it was difficult to find and retain good employees. And that's all changed now. The turning point, I think, came when we hired Darren. And now we've got somewhat of a reputation, and we're plugged into the local universities. We're working with PCCE, RIT, and GCE to interview new students, and there's word of mouth that helps us too.
When we came back from the US, I was disconnected from Ponda for about 5 years. It took me an year to build up into the network, talk to people, joined a couple of clubs, and that helped, you know, network very heavily to understand at least names and numbers whom you could get these answers and people who are in the business. So that was the first point. Creating your vendor ring around for manufacturing was most important, because we wanted to be very specific with Goa, because we learned, and we have definitely learned that very strongly, is that the more closer you are to a vendor, it's easier to iterate into faster development. And then second was investment. Venture capital environment in India is not so well developed, and that creates a lot of hurdles in trying to raise money, and especially because you're sitting out of, again, Ponda, Goa, not Bangalore, India, or Delhi, India, or Mumbai, India, for that matter. So we initially struggled quite a bit. Kevin, I suppose, has pulled in about 2013 was a very tough period where I had almost exhausted all my savings, and Kevin also started pulling money for his retirement savings from the US. That is how we kept ourselves going up till 2014. We'd taken a call that if we did not close funding by June 2014, it would be nice for us to actually go out, find jobs in regular companies, and then probably regroup if once we find funding. Because I suppose 1.5 years is a long time to understand that you cannot take it forward, and you just cannot keep burning someone's retirement money or say your personal savings. There is a time where you have to draw a line. I think the two big things that happened in 2014 for us was that we got our closure on investment with Mr. Sriram Natarajan, who was based out of Goa also. He could empathize with the whole idea of at the stage where we were and how we were struggling to raise funds and money. He straight away not only put a lot of money into the company, but also gave us that confidence that we were not working on some lame technology, but something that was really fruitful and productive and will serve the needs in saving lives. So Mr. Sriram's entry into the company as an investor and a strategic mentor for us, most importantly, was tremendously very strong, and especially he being in Goa. And so May end is what we closed our investment, and June was our deadline to close the company. So it was a very strong moment for us at that time. Simultaneously, what I did as a last chance was in somewhere around February, I had applied for the India Innovation Growth Program, that is IIGP, and that competition we won. And I had a chance to visit the US through them, and did even visit the Lockheed Martin facility. So it was a nice thing to see futuristic technology in that travel, and it was great to meet some investors, out of which one of the connections which I made in the US today is helping us develop the market in Mexico. 2014-2015 period was just building the network. So it takes a long time, because this is not something that we can go into the market and sell it saying it's only a small price point or it's a small thing. Like, it's not an app, it's a device. Secondly, this device has a little bit of technology, so that cycle of improvement on the product is what takes time. And for doctors also to change in the medical community, it takes time, because they have never worked for or trained on this kind of technology. That's changing now tremendously, because we now fit a lot of segments like the diagnostic centers who come home and do give you a service. So those are the big challenges that we have faced, and we have really overcome with them very strong right now in this period.
आता आमी कॅलोजाच्या मॉबमॉन प्रोडक्टाचो एक डेमो पळोवया.
This is the Mobmon machine म्हणटात तशें आमी. Kallows ताका ब्रँडींग आसा, आनी अशें तें केबल्स आसता ताजे, तें हार्डवेअर आसता. हो आमचो ECG करो मशीन, आनी ह्या ECG मशिनाक ही केबल्स कनेक्ट केली जाल्यार तुमकां ECG काडपाक मेळटा.
आतां हो आमचो युनीट असो करून सेटअप करताय आमी. हें आतां एक सिम्युलेटर म्हूण आहा, पूण नॉर्मली हिंगा एक पेशंट उरतलो आनी हे ECG केबल त्या पेशंटाक लायतले. ECG केबल हिंगा फुडें हिंगा कनेक्ट करताय. सिमिलरली हो पल्स ऑक्सिमीटर केबल आमी पेशंटा बोटार लायताय. हो आमचो ॲप आमी हेका केला की इट कम्युनिकेट्स विथ दीस डिवायस. सेकंड, यू गो टू द मॉनिटर स्क्रीन. मॉनिटर स्क्रीन तुका पेशंटाची ECG पळोवंक मेळटा. नाव सेकंड मेन फीचर that we have is that we do tele ECG. So during tele ECG, like there's these things about syncing records and stuff. So that is why you see all these records, they have been uploaded to the server, and he'll be able to add notes and send it back.
सो थोड्या कस्टमरांक अशें आसता की हें एक घरा व्हरपा खातीर एक किट जाय आसता. सो तो एक किट आमी एका प्लास्टीक केसीन अशें घालतात. तातूंत सगळें आमचें तुमी आतां हाताक लायतात तेन्ना पळयलां जेल बील लावन. सो अशें एक आसता. ते मागीर दुसरें छातेक लायता ते बल्ब्स आसता. सो तें एक आसा. दीज आर मेड इन टायटन हियर इन गोवा. हो बोर्ड सारको येवप क्वॉलिटी भितर, हे टायटनान तातूंत खूब बरो व्हडलो भाग आसा, की टायटन वॉज एबल टू गिव अस अ व्हेरी गूड हाय क्वॉलिटी मॅन्युफॅक्चरींग ऑफ दीज बोर्ड्स. डिझायन आमचो आणि मॅन्युफॅक्चरींग तांचें. सो देन इट फायनली हेल्प्स अस पूट ऑल दीस थिंग इन टू अ बॉक्स, आनी हें मागीर ECG मशीन जाता. आतां आमी फायनली एका पॉयंटार पावल्या खंय आमी हें युरोपाक विकतले. युरोपाक विकपाक US FDA कसो आसता तसो युरोपाक CE म्हणून एक मार्क आसता, आनी तो मार्क आतां ह्या मशिनाचेर आनी किटाचेर लागतलो. CE सर्टिफिकेशनाक खुबश्यो टेस्ट आसतात. एक म्हणटा ती हें सकयल उडोवप, हें मशीन अशें 1 मिटरा वयल्यान 4 मिटरा वयल्यान हातांतल्यान उडयतले आनी तें मशीन चलता की ना तें पळयतात. तातूंत एक गोश्टी आसात की आमकां एक स्पार्किंग टेस्ट म्हणटा ती आसता. म्हणजे केबल लायतकर ते तांकां स्पार्क दितात, शॉक दितात, बरो व्हडलो 8000 वोल्ट्साचो स्पार्क दितात, आनी ते स्पार्किंग अवॉयड करपा खातीर आमी आतां ताका एक प्लास्टीक एनक्लोजर केला. आमचो हो मशीन असो एका एनक्लोजरान बसता, आनी आमचे 2-3 प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व जाता. एक म्हणटा तें आमकां ती टेस्ट आमी डेफिनेटली बरें पास जाता, आनी दुसरी गोश्ट म्हणल्यार ताका एक सेफ्टी येता की आमी हें उडयत जाल्यार ताका कांय लागचें ना मशिना भितरल्यान. दुसरी गोश्ट म्हणजे आमचे केबल्स मातशे टायट उरता ह्या लॉकिंग सिस्टमांतल्यान.
कॅलोजान काम करपा खातीर कसली क्वॉलिफिकेशन, स्किल्स आनी गुणांची गरज आसा?
First of all, when you look at a CV, you evaluate whether the person has any experience either in a job or in school for a particular computer language or language is. Somebody who's interested in the technology, they are going to have some type of hobby that is related to the technology. They'll do some type of extra activities, be it building robots or working on open source software. And that's a key thing.
And probably the third thing I look for can be characterized as enthusiasm or work ethic. So people have to have that discipline.
Honesty is what I look at, if I can trust a person to work with. And secondly, we're talking about always Goan startups, jobs in Goa. It should not be a launchpad for everyone. A new person who joins in should look at giving at least 4 to 5 years into the company, because it's being a lot heavier on the leaders of the companies to run these companies, pay salaries and everything.
फुडल्या 5 ते 20 वर्सांनी कॅलोज खंय पावतली अशी तुमकां दिसता?
For Kallows, I suppose next 5 years we would be looking at becoming the #1 company or one of the best companies in the world with respect to quality and devices and technology for the cardiology segment. Moreover, from the 20 years point of it, I and Kevin share a similar goal, I suppose, that is to have a decent amount of capital, that is like a few crores, to support the next run of our startups which will come out from Goa, be it medical or be it just information technology.
I would like to split my time between the US and Goa and travel. The amount of work that you have to do when you create a startup is tremendous. It never leaves you. So you really have to leave the work and you have to have a holiday away from work. So that will be an eventual goal where we shepherd the company to the point where the people that are involved are capable of handling it without us being there 6 days a week.
गोंयांत न्हय जाल्यार आनी खंय कॅलोज जातली आशिल्ली?
Well, I would definitely go back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, because even though it is crazy cold at minus 30 degrees centigrade during the winter, and the winter lasts for 8 months, it's cold, like it'll be always sub 20 degrees centigrade for 8 months of a year. It's just a great place because we've connected with a lot of friends and family there, so we know what to do there. So,
Is it the same for Kevin?
Yes, Milwaukee is my hometown. Yeah, and Ponda is my hometown. So I'm set. If I'm in either one of these places, I'm great. But the thing that frustrates me is power cuts and internet cuts. That's what gets me.
and I see the lifestyle as a compliment or not a compliment, rather similarity in both places. If you see US, there are houses are big, people have a very nice life, and that's the same thing I see in Goa. People are happy with their life, they're contented, and the houses also are big, it's green and nice. So
भुरगेपणाचे आनी तरणाटे पिरायेचे तुमचे सगळ्यांत चड आवडीचे कसले उगडास आसात?
I'm actually born in Bombay, and I came to Goa only in '87. First 2-3 years I didn't like anything because my all relatives were in Bombay, but I think when I was 25 years old, I thanked my dad for saying it was a great decision to come back to Goa today, because it's one of the best places to be living in. सगळ्यात एक बरो इन्सिडंट याद दवरपाक म्हणल्यार हांव म्हजे आनी 2 जाण मित्र आमी ट्युशन सोंपोवन गणपतीची विसर्जनाचें हें पळोवपाक म्हणून आमी एक वयर कौलार म्हणून चडिल्लें. ते द होल एसबेस्टो कौल नाशिल्ली, ती एसबेस्टोच आशिल्ली. ते आमच्या वेटान आमी भुरगे जाले म्हणून ते आमच्या वेटान सगळें कोलॅप्स जालें. मातसो इल्लो इल्लो हांगा कट्स आयले, ब्रूज जाले. पूण दॅट वॉज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट हिलेरियस आनी सगळो याद उरपाचो सारको हें. दुसरी गोश्ट म्हणटा ते आमकां स्विमींग पूल बी तेन्ना फोंड्या नाशिल्लो. आमी नागेशी तळ्यान पेंवपाक शिकल्या. सो दॅट वॉज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट कितें म्हणटा तें ग्रोईंग अप मेमरी. एका टेंपल पॉंडान जातून स्प्रिंग्स आसता आनी आज पर्यंत तें बरें उदक येता. 2 हॉट आनी कोल्ड स्प्रिंग्स जाता. सो दॅट वॉज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट एक्सपिरियन्सीस म्हाका, स्पेशली बिकॉज हांव बॉम्बे जाल्लो, म्हाका तें सगळें कांय खबर नाशिल्लें. गोंयांत वाडटना दीज वर ग्रेट एक्सपिरियन्सीस. 1987च्यान हांव सेंट मेरीज पोंडा स्कुलान जॉयन जाल्लो. तेन्नाच्यान आमी 10वी थंयच्यान पास जालीं. हांवें खूब बरीं मित्र केल्यात हांगा, आनी तातूंतले एक सामकें नामांकीत मित्र म्हणटा ते म्हजे सोन्या सिरसाट, जे म्हजे पयले मित्र आशिल्ले, आनी टुडे शी इज अ वेरी फेमस सिंगर, फादो सिंगर इन गोवा. आनी ताजे फुडें हांवें मागीर आफ्टर 10th हांवें 11वी 12वी GVMS हायर सेकंडरींतल्यान केल्या, जी परत फोंड्या आसा. सो आमचें अशें जालें की आमचें फर्स्ट बॅच PCC आशिल्ल्यान आमकां केन्ना केन्ना